Okay. Hi, Amit.
Hi, Jen.
So nice to see you.
It's fantastic to see you.
And I've never imagined in a million years that we would be doing this, but we're going virtual in every platform. Okay. So now I'm going to Facebook. All right. Is your Facebook page open?
It is.
Okay, cool. Um, okay. So through Zoom, I get to hit a button on my side that says live on Facebook. All right, I'm going. Ready?
All right.
Now look at your Facebook so you can see how it appears on your timeline, which is really, really cool. So it's not happening yet. Just hold on one second. Okay, it's getting, you see how it tells you on Zoom? It's starting to go live. Like look up.
Recording, yes.
Not recording, prepare.
Oh, it says recording on mine.
Yeah, we're recording for the episode, so we are recording right now. And then we just give it a second here. All right, so it says say something about this video. I'm gonna say, Amit, I'm tagging you on Instagram, or sorry, on Facebook. Amit Gajwani, costume designer for the Mary Pickford Project. Going live now. So go live. And it's going. So look at your timeline. It's gonna appear any second.
Meeting is now streaming live on Facebook.
I know, it's so exciting.
Jennifer DeLia.
Are you on your Facebook?
Yep.
Oh, cool. I haven't even seen it appear on my Facebook. Oh, here it is. Okay. So you are, you have it on your timeline, correct?
Now, how do I, wait, on my timeline?
Yeah, you should be looking at your timeline. And we are live on Facebook right now. You there?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm listening. Oh yeah, now wait.
You know, you don't need to do anything. You're just making sure that it's there.
I hope it's there. I don't know how do I check for it?
You just have to be on your page. That's all.
I am on my page.
Then it should be there.
Oh, right there. I see it. Okay, it's there. Got it.
So don't do anything. Don't pay attention to it. It's just happening. So we are live on Facebook. We're going to talk about the making of the Mary Pickford film, but we're also going to talk about it on Instagram. So get your phone ready, Amit.
Excited. Let's do this.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to do this time from my private page, okay? So go to my page as if you're stalking me, as if you're looking at me.
Got it.
And when I go live, you're going to request to join me. Okay? Okay, so I'll tell you when I'm live.
Am I going for human? No, Jen.
It's for Jennifer DeLia, yeah. Okay, ready?
Yep.
I'm not live yet, but I'm about to be live. I'm now live, so you should get alerted right now that I'm live. And then, do you see?
Yep.
So request to join me.
And where do I request?
It should just give you the, I'm gonna.
Request.
Oh, I just added you anyway. So accept my adding of you. Yay! So now we're in both places.
Great.
And all you have to do is mute your computer.
All right, let's do this.
And then you'll hear me through the phone.
Correct.
And we're in both places.
We're in business.
So you can like talk to me. It's crackling. I guess that's your headset probably. You might want to put it in both ears probably. Just.
Yeah, let me do that. Is that better?
Yes, that's perfect.
All right.
It's always like funny with the technology. So It's kind of like you have an audience. You can decide to look at the computer, or you can decide to look at the phone. If anyone that we know and love comes on, I'll let you know. Let me see. So, okay, we are here to talk about the making of our Mary Pickford film.
Very excited. That was a lovely, lovely project. That was a beautiful, beautiful experience. Yeah.
It was. So we shot it like, it's been a minute. It's been what, a couple years, right?
2 years now. 2 years. Yeah.
I think a little more, but it's like wine. It just gets better with time. We actually shot at the end of 2016, and I don't hide from that fact.
No, really? 2016? Yes, actually, yeah, 2016.
So I guess it's been like 3 years and change,
And let's not forget the development, the process.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's been almost a decade. And you've been like involved because you shared an office with us.
Correct. Yeah, actually, that's how it started.
Half your face is cut off on Instagram, just so you know. There you go.
Oh, I forgot this. I have to keep in mind that there's an Instagram camera as well.
Yeah, you're doing great though. This is like we can just start with like how these chats start a lot. Like how is quarantine for you, and how has it changed the landscape of your work? And just so people know, Amit is an amazing costume designer that I started working with in, I think, like 2009. We did our first short film together.
Yep.
And we met through someone that we both kind of knew, and it's been a fruitful relationship. And I think you're an exquisite designer. So
thank you. I mean, more than that, we've become also very good friends, and I think I think that's probably more important than our work in a way. You're part of my family at this point, so.
We are family. Yes.
So.
But the creative collaboration is also just adds a really beautiful layer to the whole dynamic.
Absolutely. It helps when there's two crazy people that have crazy ideas that can work together.
You call it crazy, yeah.
I mean, come on, in a good way,
I agree. There's some crazy
there's nothing wrong with being a little bit crazy.
No. So yeah, how's it going? Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, crazy's good. But how's it going?
It's been okay. New York quarantine, I mean, as being the epicenter of everything that's happening in this country. We've been in lockdown. I've been in Manhattan, as you know. It's been a lot of reevaluating life and thinking about, what I'm doing, what we're doing, what's important, what's not important, questioning. And also at the same time, getting the time to do things that, that's always been put in the back burner, so that's been great, taking care of yourself. I've been doing yoga like once or twice a day, which when we're working, as you know, with our schedule, it's hard to even manage to get a meal down, whereas let alone to do this, it's been wonderful. But I do miss work. I'm not going to deny.
Well, didn't you just do a job where you were like remote? What is that like as a costume designer? How do you do that?
It was very interesting. Obviously it's still a learning curve. You're trying to figure out, I mean, even with production and directors, we're all trying to figure out how to work in this environment. And we're such a, at least as a designer, you're very hands-on. You are interactive with people, and suddenly the only interaction you have is via Zoom. You're selecting clothing via Zoom. You're sending stuff online. So, I mean, what I liked about our business is the human interaction. I love the fact that we can spend time together. We form this family environment where it's hard to accomplish that when you're on Zoom.
Yeah. So are showrooms literally like showing you?
Oh, no. I mean, showrooms are shut down. I mean, this is about shopping and then also working through their own wardrobe. because, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and yeah, I mean, you've got to, not everybody wants to go out, and safety definitely is a priority, you know,
Yeah.
more than anything. We don't want to take the chance. So yeah, working with their wardrobe, and if there's stuff, then order and send them, you know,
Yeah.
and hopefully it gets there in time, especially nowadays, you don't know. So,
And so you're doing fittings on Zoom.
correct. I'm having
Wow.
them photograph things, try it on. I'm selecting the things that I want them, and then they photograph themselves in it and send me images. I mean, it's a, you know,
Wow. I'm
it's an
so
interesting.
glad like we shot our movie. No, it's
It would have been
amazing that you
impossible to do our movie because I mean, we made costumes for our movie, you know, and that
mm,
measurements and fittings, and where you're, as a designer, you want to see, you know, you need that body in front of you, you know. Um, yeah, in this case, it's a little easier, but it's still challenging, you know. But I mean, like, and there's something, you know, what we all love, at least I speak for myself, is being on set, you know, and
yeah.
that's what's missing these days, you know. Um,
Mm.
I miss spending time with my DPs and my ADs and my G&E, you
Oh,
know,
I
just,
know.
you
Just like
know, even from the crafty to every PA, you know, it's wonderful to just, yeah. So
the the
quarantine,
the camaraderie, the tribal aspect, the sacred set. You miss
absolutely,
that. Hmm.
yeah. And, you know, and it's, you know, we're all curious to see how we will get back to it at some point and how different it's going to be. You know, again, like safety is going to be the biggest concern, you know.
Absolutely. So, okay. So what are highlights for you from our Mary Pickford project? Like,
Oh,
we are releasing this content as a web series, which is a really exciting format because I never in a million years could have imagined cutting our movie into a web series. But we shot as vignettes, so they're like these beautiful webisodes, and we'll still preserve the film. But given the times, we decided to flow with the river, and we have finished content, which is gold, and it's about the mother of Hollywood. So you, again, I'll circle back to the question: what are some of the highlights for you about that project, and what are you excited most about in terms of the reformat of this content? If you're
um,
excited, if you're not, like, I want to know how you feel about it.
well, I'll start with what are the highlights.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that it's a very difficult question to answer. You know, because since I was there from the beginning of this with you guys, you know, when you first attained the rights and started writing the script, and
Mm-hmm.
that process, that was part of the highlight, you know, just spending that time with you guys in the office and seeing the development. Then, you know, I was very fortunate as I, you know, I was able to attend some of these events with you guys when you guys were promoting just the fact that you had attained these rights. So to witness that process, I mean, that was exciting. And then, you know, and then developing and research. I mean, as someone who has never done a period piece, and the fact that you gave me, you know, you trusted me and you gave me, you know, the freedom to do and to work on this. Doing the research, I mean, I can't, it was wonderful to go through museums and to see, you know, her original costumes that she wore during these, you know, when she was alive and then during her filmmaking, to actually go and talk to historians about, you know, what it was like during that time period. I mean, as someone who loves history, it was, that was so exciting, you know. Even
Mm-hmm.
in that journey itself, these people educated me so much, you know. Things that I could have learned on my own through doing research online or on the computer, but having actual historians, you know,
Mm-hmm.
talk you through it. I don't know how many designers are able to say that they get that as, you know, that part of designing. You know, I was very fortunate to have that experience, you know. And I mean, to seeing the original garments, I mean, it's magical when you see something that was built in, you know, 1920s, you know, the craftsmanship
Mm-hmm.
and the quality that, as somebody who works in film, and a lot of our film, that quality is lost these days, you know. Whereas in our film, even with our low budget, we try to attain that quality, you know. So
Yeah.
um And then what else is exciting? I mean, I don't know, our actors, you know, I mean, obviously working with you as a director, I mean, like I said, that starts from the starting to the end and to the process that we're going to go through on Friday. You know, it's that process still hasn't ended, so I can't talk about that enough. And you're also my friend and my family, so that.
You do
But,
have your Instagram camera, don't forget.
oh, sorry.
Just sit back a little bit so it works for both. That's all.
um,
But this is beautiful. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah.
No worries. And then with the actors, I mean, you know, like the actors, we were fortunate to have wonderful actors that
Mm-hmm.
gave it their all. We spent so much time before we started shooting, you know, hanging out in our house and just getting to know each other, which I think made such a huge difference because we were dealing with a lot of challenges while we were shooting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then our wonderful location. I mean, Santa Clarita was an exciting place. And
So
even
you,
that, traveling
yeah.
having there every day was so much fun, you know. Um, yeah, I mean, I
You,
don't. There's so many wonderful experiences, and that being said, there were so many challenging experiences, you know. But in
mm-hmm.
the end, it's like we were making something that was artistic and creative. We knew we were fighting an uphill battle, but what we had going for us was, you know, the fact that we were surrounded by people that were amazing at their art, you know, and that's
Mm-hmm.
all that we could bring to this project was our capabilities. And the rest of it, to, you know, was like a Hail Mary. The rest will figure it out. So, uh,
Yeah, well said, well said. So how do you feel about having come on to make a movie and now it's a web series? Like, have you seen your work in that format, or is this going to be the first time?
no, I mean, I've worked on a web series, which I haven't seen any of it on yet. You know, I go with the flow. You know, I understand times are changing. I understand, you know, what we're dealing with. I understand what we're up against. Again, you know, it's the same thing when we were shooting a film. You know, it's with any project, you mold to the circumstances. So I know it will come out in the theater as it comes out in the web series, and we will give people these teasers. You know, of, and
Mm-hmm.
like you said, and I think you put it really well when we're dealing with the silent film era, you know, where that was the way the film business kind of ran. So we're kind of going back to its
We
original
are
format, but
like
just in a
mhm.
2020
And the
version of that.
flickers. Remember, they were called
Yes,
flickers. They were like
exactly,
less than 12 minutes. You know.
exactly. So it's, I mean, you know, that's what it's. So it's very interesting, you know.
That's a
I
good
mean,
point. No one really said it quite like that. I've been saying that it's kind of cutting edge, to
no, but
turn.
it's going back to that whole genre. Like you did get these small spurts of these little short films when they first came out. Even the projects that Mary Pickford worked on, you know, they were flickers initially, you know. And
Hmm.
I mean, it's even, doesn't she even say, isn't that one of the lines that she says in our movie, like, or something about,
Yeah,
I
like
come from
these little
theater, I don't flickers. Yeah, I
flickers.
come
Yeah,
from
I don't.
theater.
Yeah.
So,
Oh my gosh, that's so true. It's so true.
you
That's such
know,
a
I
good point in terms of the full circle, because I was saying that she was on the cutting edge of a new technology, of a new era, being a pioneer of cinema, and we're on the cutting edge and a new era with technology too. Um, so it's kind of a full circle there. And then it's also a full circle in terms of actually going back to the original format, obviously not through the internet, but in this shorter format. So that's pretty cool, Amit.
no, I mean, also, I mean, if you think about it, it's also kind of in a way combining the combination of, you know, that world. And then if you look at even Netflix or any of these other TV shows and then film, but coming in the, it's almost like a joining of the, you know, the worlds, you know, whereas
Yeah.
now it's, because, you know, Netflix, oh, that's online. We're still using the online media as a platform, but for a film to be, you know, released in its entirety.
It's reformatted, but it's also
Exactly.
like you have a movie and a series out of the same content. It's like,
Yeah,
how many ways can you slice a pie? And
exactly.
it's just like, I think it makes the value go up too, because when you can cross platforms like that, um, with the
And it's more,
content.
Absolutely, because you're not following the line of the Netflix genre or that, you're not following of like, I mean, even like a film that was just released, right now during quarantine online. It's more about how do we make this different. So, I mean, I'm curious. I mean, to answer your question, I'm fascinated by this. I really am, I think there's something there that could be, I see the potential there, and that's why it fascinates me to see where this will lead to now.
Yeah. It's so funny because I was on a panel in Cannes in 2012 talking about the beginnings of embarking on this journey with Mary Pickford. And I was that person that said, I will never, ever release my content straight to the internet. And it just shows you can never say never about anything, and you just have to be.
No.
And then when you're open to something, it becomes exciting because you're like, oh, it's a world that I get to learn about now, and I've been really embracing it.
And you should. I mean, I think you made it's such a great point. Why, I've learned from my mistake of saying that, that I would never do something, because in the end, I've ended up doing it. And I'm like, I said I would never do it. And it is true. It's like, we can't, why limit ourselves, and especially, I guess this is partly also being in quarantine. You start thinking about it. It's like, we've kept ourselves in these boxes because we're so used to a certain way of dealing with certain things, or programmed to follow a certain equation, let's say, but why can't we follow and start looking at it in a different way? And this is for filmmaking, theaters. I mean, who knows when theaters are going to be.
I mean, we're creative beings. We can do whatever we want,
True.
So you can be as open or as resistant as you want to be about anything. And
yeah.
But what about the costumes? Like, how did you come up with them? Who'd you work with? Like, because it was kind of this whole eclectic mix of designing some original, pulling from some places, getting designers involved. Like, we had the whole thing happening. So what really was it?
I mean, I have to, definitely give out a huge, thanks to Diane.
Diane O'Halloran, yeah.
We have to definitely, because she was very wonderful and helpful in, when creating the original costumes. She worked her butt off, I must say.
And she's another one of our close friends. Actually, her mother.
Yeah, our production designer's mother.
That was talk about family tribe, like, amazing.
Yeah, but, so I'm very, very grateful for her help, even though, I'm very grateful for her help. That being said, so we did create original costumes. We created original costumes actually based on the research that I was fortunate enough to do of going to the museums and seeing Mary Pickford's original costumes. That was the inspiration for the original costumes. As for the rest of them, I mean, I cannot say enough thanks to the other Diane, who runs United American Costumes, who...
We're giving shout outs now.
She, made that place my home during the entire duration of this project. She let me have anything that I wanted in that costume house. She worked with me. She worked with my budget. She opened up her arms, and it was wonderful. So yeah, they gave us majority of the costumes.
But we had Chanel too. Oh no, that was like Chanel. That was for jewelry.
Jewelry, yes, that was for jewelry. Chanel did send us jewelry.
But the originals, didn't one of them get donated to the my friend Celio, the artist that channels a lot of these chats? He just dropped some food off on my porch. That was really, really sweet. But one of them went to the Natural History Museum, no?
2 of them. Oh, I know. I think 3 of them. In the end, because I had to. Let me just make sure something before I.
You don't have to make sure. Just like.
No. 3 of them are 4. 3 or 4 of them went to the museum, and then 3 or 4 of them went to United America, because yeah,
But
I
that's
get you.
so cool. Like we talked about, like a lot of what's been coming up in the Humanizing the Icon, which is the channel that I've launched. Mary Pickford was the portal into Humanizing the Icon, and it was an exhibit at the Venice Biennale. But we've been talking a lot about, in terms of icon, money, and how money isn't the only currency, right? So like you created these incredible kind of like iconic designs with Diane and your vision, and then because of the support you had, you donated them back to these organizations, and
Oh,
now
it
they're
was.
gonna they're gonna be showcased or used, and like what an incredible gift on all levels. You know what I mean? I think it was the Mary Pickford way. Like she donated so much of her stuff, you
I
know?
mean, I think it's great for us to do that, because especially, I mean, the museum as well as, United American, they were so helpful. It's the least we could do. And the great thing, I mean, we work in a business that's not, I mean, this is on a bit of a tangent, but not the most environmentally friendly at times, when it comes to recycling our productions materials.
Yeah, we don't want
It
to be
was a,
wasteful,
no,
right?
I mean, that's the thing, and this film, like, it goes back to, like you said, it could be reused again, and hopefully it is used again. It's not sitting in a box somewhere in some storage, and that's the end of
Mm-hmm.
it.
Mm-hmm.
So
Absolutely. I was really excited that we did that, and it was so cool at the 100-year birthday of United Artists at the what was that? Hollywood Heritage Museum, where we had the first rough cut screening.
that's right.
It was literally February 5th, 2019, which marked the 100-year birthday, where they actually signed the papers for United Artists.
I wasn't
And
there. I remember. I wasn't there.
oh,
I was in New
Diane.
York. Diana was there. I was in New
Well,
York.
Diane was there, and she actually signed the deed for the Natural History Museum.
Mm,
And
good.
it was so beautiful, though, like just to have, again, talking about full circles. There's been so much like synchronicity and kind of old and new coming together, right, on this project. Like we talk so much about the symbolism of Pickford and as an archetype, and how we are here as United Artists Reborn, that's like actually how I see it, like it. What do you think of the content? Like, can you speak about the aesthetic and just like the feeling of the actual content?
Of the film or the,
Yeah, the film.
I
Yeah.
mean, the content. I mean, how there's so many levels to it. I mean, I have to say though, I haven't seen the last cut I saw, which
You were at the big screening at the Ace
at the big
Hotel.
screening. Yeah.
So just riffing off of that, like what do you think about the aesthetic or the texture, the feeling of it, the performances, your work,
I mean, not just my work. I mean, as an experience, it's the best way to describe that film. It's an experience, because
Mm-hmm.
it's not your typical biopic. So it's not about going through this conventional storyline. It takes you on a journey.
Mm-hmm.
You're embedded in Mary, but yet you're embedded in the history of film and how it's almost changed. And then you're also
Mm-hmm.
embedded in the notion of, like you said, the icon, and the fact
Mm-hmm.
that she was one of her first premier icons, and then suddenly we live in a world with the idea of, there's um what's the I mean, I mean, some, I guess you would still call them icons, but there's also this this obsession with celebrity, you know
Totally, totally,
and
yeah. And she
and
was the first that actually had
and
to deal with that. Yeah.
but you see, and at least in our movie, I mean, you see the connection between where it started to
I
where we
think
have almost and come to, it's like it's an
mhm.
emotional journey of that, because I mean, the way you cut together the images of modern day icons in a way, you know
Mhm.
places that so
Yeah,
much more.
Tupac.
Exactly. Which was a
Tupac's in our
beautiful painting.
movie. And actually Exodius, who created that artwork, is just tuned in to watch us.
The other thing I have
Yeah.
to say, I mean, I heard, yeah, which we love, but the music. There's something about, and I have to say this about, I mean, this isn't, it's almost a gift you have, because with your other movies too, the music selection, it's brilliant. No, because to me, music is such a key component of any film, you know? So in this film, the way you have used music to create that, I mean, it was incredible. I think it's such a huge part of that film. And then and the editing, you know, which most people forget, but the post is so important, because what we did as designers or production designers or directors or actors is, you know, what we see in front of the camera, but it's the post work too, because no matter how much of the footage you had, it's how was it put together to convey this movie, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it was a ride. I can also speak from my partner who was watching it, who you know very well, Graydon. I mean, who was sitting next to me, loving every moment of this movie. You know,
he's a fan. He's a
fan. He's a fan. Yeah. Yeah.
We love that about Graydon. Like,
that's very true.
If I need an ego boost, I can call him.
Well, soon we'll be in California, so you can definitely.
I can't wait. And we've like had the pleasure of how many projects together. We've worked on Abracadabra, which was a short. We worked on a music video for Ebony Bones, a music video for Amadou and Mariam, a music video for Blind Dog Smoking featuring Bobby Rush and Dr. John. We worked on Phoenix the Play with Julia Stiles and James.
I forgot about yes.
Phoenix the Play, so much fun. Yeah.
That was actually that's another thing I have to give. You know, you give me my first opportunity in theater. I can never. Yeah, I mean, it was so interesting to do theater.
Oh my God, Amit, I want to go back to theater. I want to go back to theater.
I would like to, but theater is going to be hard right now too. We're talking to people, friends who are in the theater business.
Hey. It's all good.
That's all true.
Good. And
slowly,
let's just visualize the production we're going to do. In fact, some people have approached me about turning our movie into a play because it's shot so theatrically, right? Like
you can see it. Yeah.
And if we had a big budget, like what we could do with the moving sets and the walls that come apart and like, ooh, you know.
That actually, I mean, yeah, I mean, our set was like a theater set. I mean, Colleen was great at building that, you know.
Colleen and Michelle.
Michelle,
yeah,
yes. Colleen and Michelle.
Absolutely, both of them.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, it was, you know, they were both wonderful. I mean, we had a great team, you know. I mean,
I just saw you time travel.
I was just picturing, you know, the rain in Santa Clarita and days. I mean, no, yeah, I was getting nostalgic. It was a beautiful, beautiful experience.
Yeah.
So, next project. Let's go.
I know. Well, once you're out in LA, we'll have a lot of time to like visualize and plan, you know?
Yeah. Looking forward to that trip out there.
I can't wait for you to be out here. But actually, it's really cool because a lot of our team is also really excited about the launch on Friday. So when you come into the Zoom room Friday night, which anyone that's listening to this is welcome, the information's on my cover page and on Facebook and in several posts. Humanizingtheicon@gmail.com is where you would RSVP. But we have like a really cool turnout and we have performances. It's like one of my events that I would do live, virtual.
Which if you haven't been to, I highly, highly recommend because it's a blast.
But now you won't starve. I guess at the Ace Hotel, the program went so long, we didn't get to have food there. And this one, you'll be at home, so you can decide to bring your snacks and bring your drinks and like.
Or cook in advance, make all the bread you want.
Yeah, but we have a singer, meditation. We have a DJ.
Oh, fantastic!
Yeah, it's gonna be really amazing, and we get to watch the first episode, which is only like.
Oh my God! That's what I'm really excited about. You know, I mean, yeah. I can't wait to see it. I mean, you've talked to me about this, but I don't know what you're showing. So I'm really, yeah, I'm curious as to, yeah, where it ends up. So.
Yeah, it's really, really magical.
What
Is
was
there
your
anything
favorite part? I'm curious to ask you
well,
that question.
my favorite part of the process, or
Yeah,
oh, your sound broke up. Sorry.
I'm losing you.
The go again.
I said, yeah, I'm curious. You asked me the question. I'm curious as to
Oh,
what your favorite part was about the process.
I think my favorite part is right now. And
Hmm.
I think when we were on set, my favorite part was being on set. Um, my exercise right now spiritually is being present. And I'm really, really excited to be um, allowing the content to reach people and to just be embracing the time and to see it take a new life. So it's now. But being on set was just incredible. It was absolutely such a dream come true.
No,
Absolutely.
it was a
and
wonderful.
and studying Mary and getting close to her family and her legacy and her spirit and finding my connections. It's just like the gift that keeps on giving. And Friday is her death anniversary. I call it her rebirth anniversary, but it's her 41-year anniversary
Sorry,
since her transition, and I'm turning 41 this year. So she died the same year
that you were born.
I was born, and there's a lot of I'm into universal mathematics now. So like it's a very potent that we have that like closeness in our incarnations. Pretty cool.
No, no. I mean, yeah. Friday's gonna be. Then it's gonna be a very auspicious day. It's Friday. For the.
Yeah, and we're celebrating. It's like literally, I was saying this to Dan Neese yesterday, our DP that I did a talk with as well, that we are releasing the first ever content about Mary Pickford
On her death.
on her death
Death
day.
anniversary. On her
That's not a
anniversary.
documentary. There's been incredible
Yeah.
documentaries about her. I love that world. But as far as the narrative world, as far as a dramatic piece,
And it's shocking to me that no one's ever done that about her before, because as someone as pioneering as she was and such a forefront, in the business, when the business started, and a woman that's, I, yeah, I'm really shocked that no one's ever done, besides documentaries, but like a narrative about her.
Yeah, so we get to bring her into the mainstream, into the public, and that's an honor. It's actually an honor. So
So
I hear New York
New York
City.
City. Yeah.
That's so nice. I actually it's like a sound bath. Just kidding.
I hope my cell phone doesn't die, but if it dies, then that goes off, right?
Well, we can say goodbye on Instagram and just finish our chat on Facebook. We've been on
All right.
for a while. So I'm going to say goodbye to Instagram, but hopefully you check us out and check out the series, Why Not Choose Love, a Mary Pickford Manifesto, coming out as a web series on Friday. So thank you so much. Ciao.
Thank you guys. Ciao.
Okay. So we're still over
So
here on
now,
Facebook.
oh wait.
I'm going to say goodbye to Instagram, but hopefully you check us out and check out the series. I'm going to turn off Why Not Choose Love, American Facebook. Okay. All right. Are you still there?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes.
All right.
You had, who's Miss Daya? Is that, she kept shouting you out on Instagram, but I know her too. That's when she was involved with the play with you?
Oh, maybe you know who that is? Oh, Diana.
Diana, she's so sweet. Yeah, she was telling you how inspiring you are on Instagram.
Oh, I didn't
I'm
know.
like, Amit's never been on Instagram Live before. He's probably not even looking at the comments. Oh, it's like, wait, what? Where are we right now? This like
Too many technology things going on. I was like, I can't keep
it's
track.
interdimensional, as I would say with Satya. It's like interdimensional synthesis.
No, but you know what? It's good for me to learn these things because I need to learn these things.
Well, I think you're learning beautifully.
I'm gonna tell Diane, I'm gonna text her, be like, John just told me you were sending shout outs and I had no idea.
What? Well, I think that was good. Do you feel complete? Is there anything else you would like to say before we go off of Facebook?
No, I mean, I'm just excited about Friday. You know, I mean, I definitely want to get people I know involved and get on there because, I think this is something, yeah, it's almost like a way of the future in a way. So let's see
Yeah,
how,
it's about artists uniting too. It's like,
yes.
I want to support other people. I want to get our message out there. It's like, how do we just like keep that flow alive and keep that movement alive, and show the companies too and the people really backing stuff that like art matters and this content matters.
Absolutely. No, and it is. I mean, yeah. And especially now when after everything that people are going through in this pandemic, art's going to be the first thing that's going to suffer with funding or financially, whereas we still need to keep creating it and be part of it,
Mm-hmm.
it's, yeah, we've got to stick together.
Yes, we are one. All right, I love you so much. Don't go anywhere, but I am going to sign us off of Facebook Live.
Okay.
Say goodbye to the Facebook Live. All right. I just opened Spotify. That was cool. All right.
Who is Scott Picard?
Scott Picard is our close friend who led the meditation at the screening.
Oh.
And he's doing something as well this Friday night. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna go off Facebook. So say bye, Facebook.
Hi, Facebook.
Okay.
I'm learning.
Okay, we can wrap up our episode on Zoom, but I really love you.
I love you too. And I'm gonna see you in less than a month. Oh, actually,
In the flesh.
In a month.
But I'll see you Friday.
You'll see me Friday.
And I'll see you in a minute because I'm only gonna stop the recording now.
Got it.
Bye.
Bye.
Say bye to the people.
Where?
Costume designer extraordinaire, Amit Gajwani. Okay.
But technologically, totally inept.
Totally what?
Totally inept when it comes to technology.
No. Just a dinosaur catching up. All right. All right. Hitting end.